lovely good afternoon to you and welcome to your press review. It's Thursday, 19th day in the month of June 2025. Welcome to it. My name is Victor Mwanza.
My name is Lukunsha Sakala.
Well, we'll get straight into how you're getting in touch with us. 0955-855-953. And well, you will also be having a privilege of sending us a text message on 076-89122. And well, I do have a report from Lukunsha Sakala. We need to be mindful of how we send our text messages. Again, I need to, as we get to send these text messages, in that reading the whole lot of it do take up a lot of time. And well, as you allocated 1 minute of your time to speak to us, or rather give us your press review, mention the platform you got that press from and the other medias as well that you read the press review from. Well, we'll get straight into our first story, which is former President Edgar Lungu's family says his remains will no longer be repatriated to Zambia, as earlier announced. Family representative Makebi Zulu says the decision stems from concerns that government will not honor agreed terms regarding Lungu's funeral arrangement. 0955-855-953. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you. Who do we have on the line?
Mr. Muzunde Masad Bomasa.
Kindly go ahead, please.
Thank you. Nane President, particular former President Edgar Lungu. Chile shuwa twalishiroko kwa Wednesday ishiro chikafika muno muzambi nomba balechinja matable na manani ama timetable shuwa wa president aba waitekeleza cha Zambia kwa sometimes kwa tuwavika mwa politics na mfano no hao lakini ba president walale mtuwoto kuchiroko watu kuchiroko la ndela kulandela wengi sama project dedi pani ni hao kwa nani kanyaba lela ndoko wachio ba president bagesa polo mzambi namba kutwala la South Africa kwati kubalekala bafude bakala ko ngokubale kuba secretary president kwata very much sir.
Thank you very much for coming through. 0955-855-953, and this is your press review Thursday edition. You're calling us on that number, and well, you can send us a text message on 076-89122. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Deke Township here in Dola.
Miji, kindly go ahead, please.
Yes, my press review comes from ZNEC TV, where it was reported that the Lungu family refused to repatriate the body, or is it the remains of former President Lungu. My humble appeal through this radio station is that let the Lungu family release the body of former President Edgar Lungu so that the Zambian people that he led for 7 years can come and mourn him and here. The political differences that the Lungu family has with HH should be laid aside and allow the nation to mourn their former president. Otherwise, the Lungu family are just embarrassing themselves and disgracing themselves in the eyes of the international community. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming through. 0955-855-953 is the number that you are calling us on, and 076-89122 is the number that you're sending us your text messages.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Moses calling from Dola.
Mr. Moses?
I think what the Edgar Lungu family is doing is the state capture of the government. They have captured the government, they were trying to untwist them. Now they finally said they want bury. I think let them bury. It's their decision, it's their family. So let them bury in South Africa and let's move on as a country. We can't keep on pleading with them to bring the body. There are a lot of people who have died, who have got it. Some people are never even found. So why should we keep on pleading with them? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Text messages, Lukunsha.
All right, as we continue, as we start with our messages, Good afternoon, Sun FM. My PR is coming from the news that on almost every media about the burial of the former head of state, which has become so difficult to handle. I think, on my own opinion, let the two parties sit down together in order to reach a delegate as such as the vice president, and the things would go better and smoother. Because when you imagine what the situation is looking like, especially to international community, as if we're experiencing political instability, and yet not so may be sorted out sooner and the better. Chileshe from Dola. The Thursday, 19th June 2025, my press review is from ZNBC, where it was reported that the Lungu family have refused to repatriate the body of former President Edgar Lungu. The Lungu family are just being used by selfish politicians who want to advance their political careers using the death of Edgar Lungu. Let the Lungu family swallow their pride and allow the body to come to Zambia for burial. Otherwise, most of the people are fed up of the tug and war of government, and the people's sympathy from the Lungu family has even, in air quotes, evaporated. Concerned citizen in Dola. Good afternoon, Victor and Coco. My PR comes from the viral story on Sun FM about the postponement of the ECL body. My contribution is that we are tired of hearing the same thing. Please let the government do its powers and cancel the national mourning, because more public services are affected. Please don't put funeral as comedy, and we should respect the late ECL. I'm Vawalia from Dola Tuapia.
And in more stories, Zambia Civil Liberation Union Executive Director Isaac Mwanza says the reappointment of Dr. John Kunda as chairperson of WAMA Board of Directors demonstrates a troubling lack of commitment by the UPND government to depart from failure of past regime. 0955-855-953 is the number that you're calling us on your press review. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mwawombeni Mkwai.
Yeah, I'm quite a woman. When to end on a vena?
You are Kyofi Kafta, known as General Captain Chingola.
Ngaba konkanya kwa Kelvin.
Mkwai na raranda kulia tinatunya kuno Chingola kwa highway. Ukutua mfira kuno Western kumufunga kuchariwa dirigera abali 6 yabali mbagodi. Efi atanda wastonjira government ingale mikanya. Yo mchalate mwabense nombe yo fine dire mdirigira. Yama government imine kebo fine. Bakula chimwebene nga mwambo kulafu mwebene makula ikirembo ko kinesi achara mwebene. So government balekere bo fine abene kaibala ilishanya abantu tatotera mkwai.
Thank you very much for coming through. 0955-855-953 is the number that you're calling us on. This is your press review on Sun FM Radio and TV. And boy, you're catching us live on our frequencies along the line of rail, as well as our platforms such as Topsters Channel 91 and DSTV Channel 916, and the Go TV is on 302. Call us up and let's hear your press review.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Mabomba.
I'm quite Mabombeni.
How we know. Miranda na Obi Pandora.
All right, kutuma konkanya po.
Twalalanda kose kali nyendi ya shiri rikolaba former president Edgar Lungu. Ala inepo nalalanda tata bati kilenga from kulekika ya ifutunganya tiripo. Abena makedi zulu ebale ya mfurunganya bapamira kwa ini. Itimo pintu bera bonki ama polisi. Bale ke government na family ya former president lekale punch tatine baitira bene balanja. Umfwani bashiti noti ipine fya kwa yo twalero lela yesa tembi walaisa yatinja yo palisi akya isa po mama tatile moneka bwino balambo kutekana ba mukyalo mumbi twala moneka tani kubekala cha nsondero mbato kutilata abantu bekale pe panchi bomfwani bekatane bachitefilingiro okuchikwa na totela majambombe.
Thank you very much for coming through. 0955-855-953 is the number that you're sending us, rather you're calling us on, and we'll keep sending your text messages and make sure that they are short and sweet. Be precise, straight to the point. That will be very helpful for Lokonsha.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who is on the line with us?
All right, Mr. Chisensei, please go ahead. tukadaine triumfasi mairoyo ikesa mfani kuna mwana makwalisa spiritual ikatana no kumrogo waitu apata singisa. I think vapuisha venation morning vemye frank veni since konkanye ponomo ava kuloshanga vapuisha vakaranda vapuisha because ile chike ava vati vari answera makapiti avachitara vaipekanya tairi bwino so terutambirwa kuAfrica songa kushika kuZimbabwe vashike ngemo yavo efunderio pano vakatitevera tari kuri vakaunda kaita vakaunda efeyadi urukorara ndiyati kuti inside yero government yashika kurusaka parasi vara ndiyati vakemi then mukulekeleshani twamona uko vaZambia vari vevati democracy tairi sana tuiverengemo bwino mukaitimone ngatakavati tachine odova mbitire monati apa democracy ero yakula kono kukura pandunga mwayikusheya kuteshekera kono kutani ayari bati imwe wombeni wino watumbiro muno amakavi yapyari kentuno amakavi katipaiye papo.
Thank you very much for coming through. 0955-855-953. And in more stories, Patriotic Front Acting Deputy Secretary General Brenda Nyirenda says Winter Kabimba cannot know the late former President Edgar Lungu's death wish. Nyirenda was reacting to Kabimba's remarks that he knew Lungu very well and he could not have wished for President Hakainde Hichilema to stay away from his funeral. 0955-855-953 is the number that you're calling us on.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm Chanda from Lola Vista. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you, Chanda. Kindly go ahead, please.
Okay, mine is coming from Millennium. You know, for our stakeholder, I used to see, but step of Nanigane. That's the council in Minua, particularly so that Monopoka beside the Wagan Saturday something, and then the end and I'm going to lie. To allow Barakata Beta, Ulelo, and then the little no come book space. Amali does Zambia, especially sometimes in a rather better one, very unusual. No one that I can follow me, then by 6 level and that's one like to one with the advisor and it's someone, but so one that I some bump. So by morning and to see the number of Mamma and suppose Caliban book and the Brazilian one in the Taquala. So it's like perfect. So he not what I stand for feeling to another, but to the room of the that. But later, if you want to do about the Kubashi, the moon in Zambia, but then we look at the solution. Enough is enough. For my daughter.
Thank you very much. And in concluding, you used Coco's words. Enough is enough. You should see Coco's face. I wish you were watching TV right now. Enough is enough, Coco, yeah? Well, take us through our messages.
All right. In, a preview of messages, we started off... all right, let's go to this one. Good afternoon, Kunda A. Heavens from Dola. My PR is from Sun FM 1245 News. Madam Laura Miti advised government to lift national mourning. Government fed mourners in the first week and they're still feeding them using our taxpayers' money. Former President ECL's sister, I have never seen or heard anything from her when Mr. Lungu was alive. The person who is claiming to be ECL's sister must be investigated. Whoa. All right.
This is a mouthful text message.
Or have plan B. Anyway, don't allow him to rest after he retired from politics, and now they don't want him to rest in peace after his suspected death. Individuals who went to South Africa, did they see body viewing? Hope next year no big man has to come back to save Zambia. You know what? Let's just move on from this message. Good afternoon, Coco and Mr. Monza. My press review comes from the newspaper called The Zambian Observer, where I read about the State Counsel John Sangwa saying that respect the family, write the law, and common sense prevail. I'll have to come to understand that in every funeral they have been or must be someone in charge. Even if I need to help or offer full support to the funeral, I have to come through the right procedure despite how poor the family is. Therefore, in this case, I can use a simple knowledge I learned in primary school. A funeral is for the family. After all, some of us were not even present in the time of his sickness. Please let us follow the family for all or are the ones in charge. I hope that the government should come up with a bill to support and guide how the national funeral should be conducted without infringing the wish of the dead and the rights of the family. If it means or if it means approving the burial of every president for the cemetery of their wish and put an empty tomb at Embassy Park for memorial purposes, let it be so just to fulfill their wish. Good day, Coco, and thank you for allowing my concern to be heard. Advocate Marlon C. in Chililabombwe. Good afternoon, Sun FM. I'm Paul Nurenda from Dola Masala Kapalala Market. I heard on Millennium Radio that the Lungu family doesn't want President Hijilama to attend the burial. I think this is wrong, as President Ejed should be there to represent Zambia. Our presidents are coming and it's a big deal. The family should think about the country, not themselves. ECL was president for all Zambians. We should show respect. Good afternoon, Lucas Chiseba within Dola. My press review goes to the government regarding the funeral of the former president in light of the passing of our former president. It is imperative that the government approaches this sensitive moment with the utmost respect, humility and empathy, particularly towards the wishes of the bereaved family. First and foremost, the government must respect the decision of the family regarding funeral arrangements. No institution, including the state, should override or impose, or it will be the family of the deceased. Funeral rites are deeply personal and emotional, and the attempt to politicize or control them may be seen as both disrespectful and opportunistic. It is especially disheartening to see that during the former president's illness, the state appeared distant and unbothered by his condition. There was little to no visible effort to check on his well-being, to offer support, or even maintain consistent communication. Madam, how are you? Let the government bring the body of our former president, ECL, back to Zambia and bury him with the family can go ahead with their programs. Balungu is a national asset until after burial, not family to take charge. I'm Changala Boniface in Pika. And before we continue with more calls, please, there are other stories that are trending or maybe that you've heard out there. Let's not focus on the burial or what the family of the late former president has said. Let's talk about other stories.
It looks like everyone is sending the same story.
Message. So please, we're urging that you give us other press reviews and not focus on one.
Yes, we do understand. We do understand this is the burning story or the burning issue around. Well, there are other stories as well there. There are other stories. That brings me to this story. Vernon Mwanga is in the news. Now, veteran politician Vernon Mwanga says late former President Frederick Chiluba contribution to democracy continues to inspire many Zambians today. And Science and Technology Minister Felix Mtati says government will emulate Dr. Chiluba's path in promoting liberalization. 0955-855-953. Good afternoon. Tawamba mkwaini wantuenda na bena.
Mulelanda na Chibuye Isaac, professionally known as the responsible father from Plenary of Undora.
Ngabakonkanya Papa Isaac.
Na totela. Therefore, kulanda pedi ashiyaba lungu. I think it left tango mulilwa paliponse. My brother, inopo ninga chimona fye mkuto ntonkanya